video is sponsored by Honey. Hey guys, a warm welcome back to the channel. I've got a super exciting one today. I'm calling this phase 2 of the cleanup operation on the Boxer project. I've got Karcher UK who have kindly offered to help out. They are bringing their ice blasting kit and we are going to try and transform the very neglected engine that, as you know, sat outside for well over 12 years in all of those British elements, and it really has taken a battering. So we're going to see what we can do with that. As you know, the car is not here in my garage, it's over at Karcher body shop over in Maidenhead, who have kindly lent me some space to work on the car. So I'm going to head on over there. While I do that, you guys make sure you grab yourselves a cup of this stuff, check out the new Ratarossa mug, and I'll meet you there in just a tick. Oh, and did I mention Karcher have kindly donated a K4 pressure washer to give away? That is similar to the one that I used in the original Boxer cleanup video. Stay tuned to find out how you can be in with a chance to win it. Before we look at the engine, let's have a cast back to how we discovered the car last year. It had been sat outside for over 12 years and, well, it was looking in a pretty sorry state. Since then, we've had a good old cleanup of the car, but it needs a heck of a lot more to make it pristine again. Wow. Dude, look at that! Holy cow! No way! Look at the moss in the air. Yes, keeps there. Look at that. Such a shame. What a car! I mean, all this is clean. Now, fortunately, since then, I've managed to rescue the car and I now own it. And as I said, we've given it a clean up. So let's have a look how the engine stands today and what we've got to work with. So the main focus today is going to be the engine, and particularly the block of the engine. Other bits like this can come off, these can get treated separately, but this is really where I want to focus. It's taken so much of a battering, sat outside all those years in the British weather. As you can see, let me give an example. On this side, you can barely make out, but each cylinder, you've got the number stamped into the block. 8, you can make out 10, you can just about make out 11. On that side, nothing at all. So we're going to really try and get that back looking spectacular. Heads can come off anyway, so really it's the main part in the middle there that I really want to focus on. We're going to also, we've got the straps here, sides, underneath, so we can lift it up on the crane. I've taken off as much as possible without really exposing too much, so things like this we've plugged up. I have taken off quite a few things off the front here. We've got quite a lot of access. This is going to be the most tricky side, I think, of it, but the rest of it should be good. Okay, so this is the dry ice, and what we got here, they're 5mm, are they?
3mm pellets.
3mm pellets.
So the idea with these is we're going to be ice blast on the engine itself. If you take a step back, what we'll do is we'll simulate it just by hand. As we throw it on the block,
wow.
Given the effect of that, it turns the majority of them straight into a gas. And you can see now by the glove on my hands.
Special gloves, yeah.
And you can see now the frozen, how they are pretty much now just returning back to normality after just a few seconds of holding it in the glove.
Amazing.
So hence why using the correct PPE is extremely important.
So typically, how much of this stuff would you use to do I don't know, engine?
So we've got 300 kilos today,
right?
Which with the machine we're going to be using will give us enough time for 6 continuous hours.
Right, okay.
Running.
And cost-wise, for something like 300 kilos of this stuff,
You're looking somewhere in the region of about £300.
Okay. So we fill this with ice. How long would that typically last?
So if we're running at full capacity, you're going to get 20 to 25 minutes worth of run time out of the
It could take another one.
Chiro is demonstrating his skills at filling up.
You put the ice in the machine.
Awesome.
Okay, time to play with some toys. Let's have a go. We've been doing this for about 10 minutes, and as you can see, it's starting to come up very nicely, but absolutely no residue on the floor. Where's it all gone? Just
Thin air.
gone, thin air. So that is a really, really big selling point on this. We've got the big compressor. These are the guys. Now, as you can see, the parts for the Boxer are really starting to mount up here. The original plan on this car was just to clean it up and get it running. This lot is going to cost me a pretty penny, and so I need to save as much as I can where I can, and that's where today's video sponsor Honey comes in perfectly. Now it's that time of year again to service the Ferrari 360, and here's one quick, easy way that I save some money. Let me demonstrate how simple and seamless it is with Honey. I shop online at one of over 30,000 Honey supported sites, search under my Ferrari's details, and the recommended Shell oil comes in at £68.99. When I go to checkout, Honey drops down, and it's just one simple click to apply coupons. I wait a few seconds as Honey finds the best codes, and watch as the prices drop. And I just saved a whopping 40% off my bill. That's £27.60, and it is that easy. You're gonna love that feeling when you save some money. To install Honey is totally free, just 2 clicks, and it works on whatever browser you use. And Honey supports everything from car parts to clothing. I also saved on these Ferrari Puma trainers. If you've got a computer, Honey should be on it. And by using my link, you'll also be helping to support my channel. So head on over to joinhoney.com/Ratarossa. That's joinhoney.com/Ratarossa. Now I've got to say a huge thanks to Honey for not only sponsoring today's video, but also helping me to save some money towards these Ferrari builds. Now let's head on back to business. We are going to try a bit of the bodywork here. I'm going to go to this little bit here because it's all really rusty. See how it does. Ice baby.
Please tell me you're going to cut that out.
Quality Italian paint, you know, it's sticky.
It's a bit
Where's
flaky.
that coming from then?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's have a look.
That's the ceiling.
Oh, it's coming off the ceiling.
Where's that coming from? Wow. So we've got the angled detailing head on this, and it's getting into all the little nooks and crannies here. Really handy for all these little intricate bits. Ideally I should have stripped all of this off so we were just down to the block, but this thing is saving the day. As you can see, the Ice Blaster has done a fantastic job on the frame. It's taken it right back to bare metal. That is where it's really coming to its own. It's gone through it like it was butter. So we're going to do a little bit more of the framework. Unfortunately though, we're running out of time, so we're going to head back to the engine first. We're going to change the nozzles, and we're going to get into some of the tighter little spots on that.
the
Dan,
ice.
how much would this kind of this kit cost?
Somewhere as it is now, around 15,000.
15,000 for that. Take into account the ice. You don't need any special power for this. This is just
No, this is standard. You can have 240 or 110,
or 110.
whichever way you want to go. The biggest thing to get is the air supply. So with this, we're running 7 bar at 130 CFM.
Okay.
Air supply. So that's
Okay, but we've gone overkill with
we've
that.
gone massively overkill. What we've got outside is
yeah.
about 380.
Right. Okay.
So we've got massively more than what we
Yeah,
need.
we don't need that.
So obvious question is, how is this better than sandblasting?
So when we use the machine with it, so when you use sandblasting, you've got the sand, you've got the shot, whatever you're using ends up on the floor with the debris you're cleaning off.
Yeah.
With ice evaporates straight to a gas on impact, so all you've got is whatever debris you're taking off the engine or the item, that's it. You haven't got any sand,
good.
any shot, any of that side of it.
That sounds good.
So the clean-up element is so much
I
more.
think that's the appeal, definitely,
Yeah.
isn't it?
100%.
It's definitely a much cleaner clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan, you mentioned that this product here, you've got another one in development. Is that right?
Yes, so we've got another one in development. So this one here, we have to have the ice delivered beforehand or made as it is. The new machine coming through actually makes its own ice. So we have a CO2 bottle sat on the back, and then it will create the ice on demand as you use the machine.
Amazing.
So you haven't even got to have the ice there.
That's
As long
really
as you've got
cool.
a continuous supply of CO2 bottles, you can keep using the machine.
Okay, timeline on that one?
We due the machine March, April this year.
Wow.
So
Okay.
soon. Very soon.
Yeah. As you can see, the engine is now down from the crane. We've got it on the trolley. The ice blasting kit is all gone. We've gone over this for a few hours, and I'm going to give you a little tour of it and the summary really of my feelings on the ice blasting kit. Now, as you can see, it's done a fantastic job. If we compare that to how the engine looked at the beginning of the day, it's a transformation for sure. It's not the perfect finish that I was hoping for. I was really hoping to get it, right back. Some of the areas for sure, it really did handle it very well. But the real tricky bit was obviously the top of this engine block here, because it had sat there in all the elements, untouched, for at least 12 years. It sat underneath the engine lid there, all those vents just open up and everything came in and just sat there. You saw what it was like when I discovered it last year. And so, because everything sat there, it is just ingressed into that alloy block. Having said that, so that is obviously the worst area. I've showed you the worst area to start with. This area here on the side, look how well that has come up. Just amazing. And again, very difficult here because I did not strip it completely down, but we've managed to, really make it look very good there. Again, on the sides, if you look at the sides, the cam covers, they're all clean. These are getting painted anyway, but you can see it's taken all the paint off. There's a couple of little bits in here we still need to get to, and again down here when we had it up on the crane, all the underside, all the underneath, that's come up really well. So I think in summary, all the kind of areas on the engine that are not completely exposed to all the elements, so this was really mainly dirt, grease, grime build up, and that's come up fantastic. The bits that have been really weathered, that have sat around for all those years, that is really now the focal point of trying to clean up the rest of it. But my summary is, would I have one? Definitely. It's a very good bit of kit. It makes, this is the floor area, and it makes hardly any mess at all. This will take me 2 seconds to clean up, and so that in itself is an absolutely massive added bonus. It's day 2 on the engine cleanup, and we're not going to finish there. Remember, I want this engine to look like it's fresh out of the factory, and that is going to take a little bit more elbow grease. I'm going to try a few methods that I've had a lot of success with before on previous Ferraris. Let me show you. Okay, so what we have here is some everyday items from the garage. Drill, we've got these little attachments here, these wire brush attachments, some paint brushes, we've got some metal polish, we've got these little wire wool, and I've just got some degreaser. And what we're going to do is we are going to just use this and see if we can clean up that top block a little bit better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my drill with this wire brush attachment. I'm going to use the test area. Now these cam covers are being repainted anyway, so we'll just do a little test here. and just make sure it works. And as you can see, this is exactly the look I'm going for. That fresh, brand new, clean alloy look, as if it's just come out of the factory. Now this is the bit that is going to take a bit of time, a bit of elbow grease, but it's really going to be worth it. Let's start with this lower area down here. Now first of all, I like to put some degreaser on it. What I've done actually is I've left the top of the block soaking in this stuff overnight. I'll just apply some of this to one of the areas. This one seems to be the worst. Then I'm going to simply use the drill. I'll use the electric one so I don't keep running out of battery, with the various wire brush attachments. Occasionally I might, where it's a tough area, just use some of this metal polish. And if I need to get into any areas that are really tight, I can use the wire wool. I've got various attachments here. I've got a load more in here as well, and I've got somewhere I've got a really thin one as well, which you can get right in to these real stubborn tight areas. And there you go guys, it's really starting to look good. Now I don't know if you noticed, but I switched between the two heads, even though they're more or less the same size. This I start off the process with, and I'll try and keep the clean one just for that final buff. Now I'm going to carry on with this. We're going to finish this side, and then I'm going to move to the top of the engine and see what magic we can work up there. For the top side of the engine, I started at the center of the block, leaving everything sealed up, then removed the air intake manifolds and covered up all the holes. Now, using a wire brush is pretty harsh, but on this block it really was the only way I was going to get rid of those stubborn areas. Well guys, there you go. That is almost a full day's work just to do the top side of this engine, but I'm sure you will agree it is worth all of that extra elbow grease. It is looking fantastic. I've got a bit more to do up there, still got to do the sides, underneath the block, and once all of this is removed, we've got to do this area as well. Now I want you to imagine this with all the hardware that I've left on there. All the studs are loose now, but imagine all that coming back from the platers looking like this. It is going to look fantastic once that is finished. Anyway, I'm really happy with the result from the ice blasting and that little extra work that I've been putting into it to just finish it off and make it look stunning again, just as it came out the factory. Anyway, that has spurred me on. I'm going to carry on with the rest of this, all of this, and get this project done. Well guys, there you go. That is the engine cleaned up on the Boxer. Now I've got to say a massive thanks to Karcher for accepting the challenge on that one. I set them an extreme one with the engine on that car. It really was at the top end of the scale for ice blasting technology, and I think you'll agree it did a fantastic job. Don't forget also we have that K4 pressure washer to give away. All you got to do to be in a chance to win that one is simply comment below if you had access to that Karcher ice blaster, what would you use it on? Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and you can also check out what I get up to on a daily basis over on my Instagram channel. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you very shortly in the next one. Ciao for now.